Okay, the recording is started. So this is the February 26th, 2019 Rook community meeting. And as usual, we'll get started by looking at any potential patch releases for 0.9. Okay, so there's only two issues on the project board. I know Giannis had mentioned that he is interested in backporting this. So I think that, Alex and Giannis went through the work to figure out the back compat story or migration story for users that are affected by it to be able to upgrade and continue functioning. And I believe that for 0.9 potential patch release here, all we'd need to do is just simply cherry pick or backport that fix. So I think the bulk of the work has been done in master already. So I think that's not much to follow up on for 0.9, but something that we do want to do. So in 2254, container mounting CephFS with FS group stuck in container creating, is that something that we wanted to follow up on still, or is that kind of like a parked it in 0.9 thing?
Yeah, I think it got parked there. It's not understood yet how to work around this. I think my time has been short to investigate it more, but yeah, it's not ready for backport in any case.
Cool. Is Giannis on the line today?
I don't see him unless he's on the mysterious phone number.
Okay. So then that would mean then that we only have a single issue that we're interested in doing a patch release for. Any thoughts on that? I know Giannis was, he did have, a strong ambition to make sure there was a patch release for this. So are there any major objections to that or thoughts?
Yeah, no objections. It'd be nice to have him on the call to confirm the need for it, but then it's just a question of cutting the release.
Yeah. And also, yeah, just brought up his latest comment on it. So it looks like it's he wants it to be fixed before a blog post goes out as well. Let's follow up with Giannis, and then yeah, this would be probably an example of when it's nice to be able to scope releases for specific storage providers, but
right. Yeah, I'm not too worried about that. People they don't need, maybe in the release notes we can say it only needed for a certain operator and no need to upgrade others.
Yeah. Yep.
But people could still use the latest versions for the others.
All right, so let's follow up on that then. I'm going to go ahead and ask Giannis to. All right, so that should be it for 0.9 then. So let's talk about 1.0. And as a reminder, we are trying to get back into the quarterly release cadence. So this we're targeting around the late March timeframe for this release, which would be about another month left. And so Travis brought up an agenda item here for when should we start moving unassigned issues out of 1.0, since we do only have a month left in the milestone. As usual, we're fairly aggressive about the items that we put into the milestone at the beginning, to give opportunities to the community to pick up some of those issues as we go along. And it's perfectly appropriate that if it didn't get owners, then we'll move them out of the milestone. That's fine. And there's probably, Travis, in answer to your question, there's probably a set of these issues here without owners that or probably already clear that they're not going to get addressed in the milestone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so there's probably a set of those that we could go through and just go ahead and do a pass through.
Right. Yeah, there's probably a set of issues that I'd like to still push for in 1.0. So maybe if we have hope of getting them into 1.0, we could still be aggressive there and keep them in. But if there's no hope at this point, then it seems like we should move them out to 1.1 or even unassign them.
Yes, I agree with that. The ones that are clear that there's not many momentum or any traction for them, then we can go ahead and move those out now.
Yeah. So we could have a separate call for that.
Yeah. Yep. That's fine. Okay. So any there's a lot of things on the board here. Are there any specific ones that folks want to bring up right now in this context?
I didn't think to pass through this. Go ahead, Alex.
There's one which a user just, well, not for 1.0, but for 0.9 has kind of asked, requested, is the pull request 2631. It's, no, if it's just a thing, it's still loading for me. The handle mon failover more gracefully, which you created, Travis.
Mm-hmm.
They seem to be hitting it in production, as they wrote in the general channel. Well, they basically wrote, yeah, they would like to hear if they are plans for 0.9.3 release to include this fix.
And which number was that, Alex? What number?
2631.
31.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good question. I think this is a really good stabilization fix for the mons. So if we're doing a release, then I'd want to think about backporting it. That's your question, right? Whether we should backport it.
Yes.
Does it have any, are there any migration concerns? Like, is there like an upgrade process that needs to be done to handle this, or is it just a simple code update and everything's okay?
Yeah, no special upgrade process. It's just a code update.
Oh, that sounds like a potentially a nice candidate then to fit into the 0.9 as well.
Yeah, I agree.
Do we want to follow up on that? Do we want to go ahead and just assign the issues to the 0.9 project, and then they'll be on the board there, and then we can have further discussion and maybe reject it or take it.
Yeah, sounds good to reopen them.
So there's 2 issues here.
Mm-hmm.
So mon failover not removing failed mon, and mon is never rescheduled. Okay, so both of those?
Yeah, both of those were fixed by this PR.
Oh, they weren't even in 1.0. Come on.
Yeah. My bad.
It's okay. It gives me something to do. I have value.
Keep me honest.
Okay, so and then we'll also put it on the 0.9 project as well.
Mm-hmm.
And on here, it should be on 1.0, it's done.
That's done. But on 0.9.
Yeah, but on 0.9, yeah, to do. They are there. Yeah.
So they show up. All right, cool. Yeah, I'll follow up on that.
Alrighty. Yeah, in general, I think it was before this one. I was looking at the 1.0 board, and there's a pull request that was assigned to the milestone. And in general, I prefer only having issues assigned to milestones, and pull requests are just the vessels in which those issues, the fixes for those issues, make it into the milestones. But in terms of tracking, I normally prefer just having issues tracked.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes sense to me.
All right. Any other specific issues in 1.0 that we want to bring up right now?
Yeah, I feel like things are in progress, but what needs to be discussed? Yeah, I know a lot of things are in progress. Blaine's work to fix the standard paths for Ceph. There's CSI driver integration. There's moving to Nautilus. There's I had a separate item just to discuss that briefly.
Yeah, that's in the agenda, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Anybody else have issues to bring up specifically for 1.0?
I don't know why my screen stopped sharing. Is the screen share back now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool.
I see it.
Yeah, yeah. I hear my dog crying downstairs, so I'm going to stop my video and carry my laptop downstairs. But the meeting will go on.
Okay.
All right. So if we don't have any more issues in 1.0 to talk about right now, then we can go ahead and move on to the next topics here. I think is Giannis on the call yet, or is still not here?
I still don't see him.
Okay.
On the call.
All right. So I guess we will not get to see some of Giannis's amazing new Cassandra functionality that he's been working on as part of his thesis. But we are all cheering him on regardless, wherever he may be. All right, so Travis and Blaine, you guys wanted to have a discussion about updating the base image for the Ceph operator to be onto Nautilus now?
Just an update on that. So Nautilus did have its RC on Friday. So the idea is that with that release coming out, we should be able to get the new Ceph images, and some of the new functionality in 1.0 does require Nautilus to be the base image for the operator, the Ceph operator. So the idea is that as soon as we can get the Ceph image, we would go ahead and move the operator to be that as the base image, and then we get everything working end to end based on Nautilus, which in theory probably within a couple of weeks will be released. Have the final release. That's the timeline. So Nautilus is before Rook 1.0. So when Rook 1.0 comes out, Nautilus would be officially supported then.
Is it already clear that there will be any migration steps or upgrade difficulties, or are we hoping that using Nautilus as the base image will be a smooth transition?
Nautilus as the base image should be fine. The client tools are pretty much supposed to be compatible, plus or minus a couple of versions of Ceph. And on the data path, I don't know of any upgrade issues, but we'll have to do more. Well, hopefully no data path, but as far as orchestration of upgrades, no new issues that I'm aware of, at least for that path. But
Okay.
We'll definitely pay attention to that.
Sounds good. Does Blaine, do you have anything that you wanted to add to that?
No, I think that pretty much captures my thoughts as well.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
And then yesterday there was some investigation into getting that Ceph image out on Nautilus. So we still have an issue with ARM, right? So we're blocked on that. Or what's the latest? Any update?
Yeah, I mean, I think the sort of short of it is that we're blocked by more than just ARM packages not existing. There's also an issue with NFS packages and with a particular Ceph meta package that installs the repository.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So there's some, I guess, like release cleanup things that could be done to make sure everything's in place that Ceph container needs to actually build a container.
Right. Okay. So we'll work through that and hopefully have a build out soon.
Okay.
All right.
Sounds good to me. Okay, so there, I think that is, let me check the chat here. Oh, okay. Sebastian Wagner linked a PR here.
Yep, that includes a documentation of how to upgrade a cluster. But that's unrelated of upgrading the operator. So, yeah, just a side note.
This is for Ceph upgrades, not for
Yeah.
Rook upgrades necessarily.
And so are there potentially things in here that need to get kind of integrated into the Rook operators' duties for upgrading a Ceph cluster?
So upgrading a Ceph cluster is not really trivial, as far as I read the upgrade instructions.
Yeah. I see the section on upgrading, so yeah, we should go through that and see if Rook needs to have some extra steps here. I mean, there's things around that Rook wouldn't have to worry about, system control restart of services, which Rook takes care of, well, independent from system control. Okay. Yeah.
Cool. I was I was trying to bring up something else on my screen real quick because I saw something on Twitter today that Ihor from the CNCF pointed me and Alex at.
Mm-hmm.
And so there was a Twitter post. Let's see if I can. Oh, shoot. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Hold on. Sorry. This will give me
Did
more
the
time.
tweet link to somewhere? Because I only saw like the tweets pinging us, and the buff was like, yeah, I'm trying to, or I'm using Ceph docs, something with Kubernetes and Ceph in the link.
Yeah. So yes. Okay. So there. I think. Can you see the Twitters now?
Yes.
Twitters. Cool. So there's a post from somebody saying that they found a nice tutorial about how to deploy Ceph on Kubernetes, and Ihor mentioned us here because in that tutorial, which is right here, it was listed that the author here wrote that this installer was built to replace Rook-Ceph after encountering some stability issues in 2019, so it's very recent. And so Ihor was asking for more details about what that was. I was wondering if anybody else had run across this or knew what the particular stability issues that the author of this might have been talking about. Because I look at this and excuse me, like all these manual steps here that you've got to do. That this whole thing here, it's kind of gnarly. Like all this stuff here. So I wanted to bring it up because I was a bit concerned that if the author of this had enough stability issues that this was a better alternative, I was a little concerned about that.
Right. Yeah, I haven't seen this post.
Cool. I will. I guess
I'll link to that.
Yeah, I'll send a link to it in Slack so that people can discuss it and see it.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be nice to be able to, if we could talk to the, I think maybe this is Jay Johnson. Maybe he was the author of it.
Mm-hmm.
Is anybody familiar with him? I don't know who Jay is. I have never met him before.
Not I.
Cool. Okay. I will send a link to that. Blaine, were you trying to say something?
Your robot speak.
Is my audio? Okay, it's not just my audio. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're cutting out, Blaine, or you gave your microphone to the robot helper you have next to you. I'm not sure.
Yep. Still the robot sound.
Still the robot. Okay. Well, either way, I'll send a link to that in Slack, and we can have more discussion there. Okay, that's all the items that were listed in the agenda document today. There's one more thing popping up in the chat, probably Blaine. Oh, okay. Blaine does not recognize Jay's name either. Okay, got it. Thanks, Blaine. Thanks, robot.
Yeah, and Giannis said he was delayed for a doctor appointment, so he was not able to make it.
Cool. No worries. Beep boop. Yeah, so that's everything I had on the agenda. If anybody else has a topic they want to bring up now, I'll pause for a few minutes to open the floor.
I was curious, is anybody from EdgeFS here? Just, I think they had a couple of PRs. Just want to make sure they're not blocked or where we are with them.
I don't see anyone from EdgeFS on the attendees of the participants list right now.
Yeah.
They are definitely active on GitHub and in the community at least. So that they definitely have been keeping up with a lot of things going there. That's definitely an active provider so far. I'm happy with their engagement.
Yep. Just want to make sure they have a chance to take the floor if they need it.
Yep. Cool. And then and then one other note, we've been getting some good interest from university students that are excited and interested in the Google Summer of Code opportunities. The application process hasn't even opened yet, and I think we've probably seen a handful, like 4 or 5 people already interested in it, which is great for bringing interest and contributors into the project, and getting to engage with the wider audience, and being able to implement more features. So I love the engagement that we're already getting from Google Summer of Code, and it hasn't even started yet. So that's exciting. And I'm also very happy about, we have, a handful of mentors for this summer as well. So, the number of people that are, willing to help out and mentor, university students this summer. I'm very pleased with that as well.
Absolutely.
Alrighty. So I will go ahead and stop the recording now then.